Hello and welcome back to Gardening for Health and Wellbeing. So today I went to my local hardware and garden centre, Bunnings, and decided to get some jalapeno since the one that I started from seed, the only one that germinated, actually succumbed and dried up because where it wasn't getting enough water, obviously, and yeah, I thought I'd better get some ones that are a bit more established since summer is well and truly on its way now, and I want to be harvesting some chilies soon. So I bought two jalapenos and I plant them both into this pot in my potted garden bed area, and hopefully I will start harvesting in the next maybe 4 weeks or so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to these. I want to try and make some what I've seen on other YouTube channels, cowboy candy I think it is, and then I also want to freeze a whole heap of jalapenos as well, diced up, for like pizzas and chili sauces and stuff later on in the year when I've got a bit more time to do those different projects. But yeah, that's what I've got planned for these jalapenos. Whoops, the wind flew over my tripod. Luckily I am actually almost finished and just going to put the tag in there so I remember what I've planted in that pot. So next we go over to the larger beds along the fence, and I'm just pulling out two of the, what are they called? Patty pan squash, I think it was, or they were the yellow zucchini, I can't remember now. But they succumbed to some sort of disease or was overwatered or something, and they just didn't do very well. So I decided to plant these California wonder peppers into this bed. There's 6 in there. So hopefully that these will grow. I do have like 4 other plants in another bed, but I wanted more. I want to try and freeze some, and I also want to try and maybe dehydrate some and turn them into like a capsicum powder as well, to just add flavor to like different rice dishes and maybe even curries and things like that. Just when I don't have enough bulk, at least I've got flavor there to add. So that's what I wanted to do. So here you're just going to see me planting them. I'm planting them about maybe 20 to 25 centimeters because they do like to be fairly close to their neighbors. A bit like beans, I suppose. Beans are even more closer together. They like to really hold hands, so to speak, and peppers are not that much different. They do prefer to be closer together to help pollination. So I plant all 6 into this bed, and I did notice when I was planting out these peppers that 2 of my, I either planted zucchinis or sweet nugget pumpkins, I think they were called, or something like that. Sugar pumpkin, I don't know, I can't remember. But they're only the really tiny little pumpkins. So it's either the zucchini or those pumpkins there. I've got 2 of them starting to germinate. So I'm going to be looking forward to this bed to be quite full soon. Hopefully we'll get a bit more rain over the next couple of weeks to help settle these in, and I'll probably add a little bit of dynamic lifter, which will just enrich the nitrogen levels for these plants, because these are pretty heavy feeders, and I'll probably do that to all my plants, to be honest. But yeah, I'm hoping to do that very soon. So I've just got another 2 or 3 of these California wonder peppers to plant. I'm just trying to find the soaker hose there, so I know where to actually plant all of these peppers, because otherwise if I don't put them near it, I don't know if they'll get enough water. So I like to try and find the hose and then plant right next to it as best as I can. And I do plant them just slightly deeper, and I take off the first leaves at the very bottom as well, and I bury it up to pretty much that point, just to help stabilize them a little bit more in the soil. They don't mind that. They don't. They're not as good as like a tomato when you plant them. The tomatoes love being planted really deep. I have found with my capsicums, when I've planted them, they like to be planted a little bit deeper, but not too deep. And I'll just support them in another way with like a little stake or something, just to help that out a little bit more. I'm just trying to find the soaker hose again for another one, and then I plant another one about where my hand is actually resting on the bed as well. So just these two last ones, and then I go back and I do put a little bit of the dynamic fertilizer and I water them in. Unfortunately I did that off camera, but yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully growing enough capsicums to be able to freeze and also preserve by dehydrating. I've not done that before, but I want to try and see if I can make like a capsicum powder, as I said, to just flavor different foods. Yeah, I'm going to try and do some green capsicums and some red, just to see if there's a difference there in flavors when you're cooking and whatnot. And yeah, hopefully it's gonna turn out okay. I can't wait. But yeah, come along for the journey. I just found a worm as I was digging, so I was just holding on to it while I dug the hole a bit deeper, and then I put it back into the hole, and that just shows me that the beds are actually quite fertile still, because the worms are in there doing their thing. So I know that I'm on the right track. They do have a little bit of way to go. As we can see that the beds are sunk a little bit. So after this summer season, I will be rejuvenating the beds again and getting some new soil. And I'll probably pull out the soaker hose and redo the soaker hose and try different things just to see what works best for me in my garden. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.